So you want to play Ulalek the FUSED ATROCITY, a 5 mana 5 color devoid Eldrazi that whenever you cast an Eldrazi spell, you can pay 2 colorless to copy the entire stack. As you can imagine, a 5 color Eldrazi commander is going to want you to fill your deck with Eldrazi. So in the early game, we're going to play some Eldrazi. We're going to want to get some early cost reduction with It That Heralds the End and Herald of Kozilek. We're also going to want some cards that make us some Eldrazi spawn. My personal favorite is Chittering Displacer, an Eldrazi with Myriad that makes a token whenever it leaves the battlefield. Next up, we're going to want some colorless support like Glaring Fleshraker, which makes you an Eldrazi spawn whenever you cast any colorless spell. Since you're playing an Eldrazi deck, you're going to have a lot of colorless creatures and a lot of mana rocks, so this will go very well in this deck. Forsaken Monument is perfect for Eldrazi decks. It buffs all of your colorless creatures, gives you extra colorless mana, and gives you life whenever you cast a colorless spell. So make sure you find at least some space for it. In the mid game, we're going to want some more Eldrazi. So we're going to want Eldrazi that can make us even more Eldrazi spawn and Eldrazi Scion. Cards like Writhing Chrysalis, which now make us 2 Eldrazi spawn when we cast it. We also want some harder hitting colorless support like Titan's Vanguard, which allows us to put +1/+1 counters on all of our colorless creatures whenever it attacks. And last but not least, we're certainly going to want Conduit of Ruin. While a bit more expensive than our other cards, it also comes with an on-cast tutor and reduces the cost of the first creature spell we cast each turn by 2. It wouldn't be an Eldrazi deck if we didn't also bring Echoes of Eternity, which doubles all of our triggers and copies all of our colorless spells. This can be used for mana rocks, Eldrazi, everything. It's fantastic. Almost too good. As late game finishers, we're going to want more Eldrazi. Hideous Taskmaster allows us to steal a creature from each of our opponents, turning them into big, trampling, hasty annihilators until the end of the turn. This is also when we'll have enough mana to cast the big Eldrazi, like Artisan of Kozilek, which comes with a reanimation trigger and Annihilator too, and one of the newer Eldrazi cards, Ulamog's Dreadsire. A 10/10 for 10 that taps to make a 10/10. That's a lot of 10s. Even Eldrazi are going to need a little bit of help, so we're going to have some support cards like Kozilek's Unsealing, which makes you 2 Eldrazi spawn whenever you cast a creature spell of mana value 4, 5, or 6, and draws you 3 cards whenever you cast a creature spell of mana value 7 or greater. As you can imagine, being able to copy the entire stack is very strong, so we're going to want a way to give our Eldrazi flash. Liberator is one of the best ways to do that because it comes out early and gets bigger the more you cast. By the time you're casting your 10/10 Eldrazi, this thing will also be a 10/10 along with them. And of course, we're going to want Ugin the Ineffable. Colorless spells you cast cost 2 less to cast, and it has some extra stuff that doesn't really matter. In true 5 color fashion, Ulalek goes good with basically everything in the game, so you can really do whatever you want. So, who do you want to play next?